Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another Scrap Saturday. I hope you all have your photos ready and you haven't forgotten about joining me every Saturday. I'm going through my Scraptastic I Lived April kit, and the pattern paper is phenomenal. It's just fabulous. And as soon as I opened it, I got it in the mail, I think sometime this week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and as soon as I opened it and I saw that circular paper and I saw that it did have the die cut for the Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places We'll Go, I was just like, yes! I printed out this photo of my godson, my nephew, my sister's baby, and I thought, perfect, this is exactly what I'd been waiting for to scrapbook this awesome photo. And she does take such cool photos of him. This is a Scraptastic exclusive paper, and I'm leaving the manufacturer strip at the bottom on that one side because I absolutely love that it brings in a bit of yellow. And I like that there is no writing on it, so it kind of already creates a natural, base or border to my layout. Here I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Stitched Circle dies. And I'm going to be recreating the same type of circles that I did for a previous layout. It's probably one that my sister said was her favorite. I was just measuring my cardstock here because I want to make sure that I'm not going to be wasting a full sheet of cardstock to make the circles. The cardstock matches the pattern paper so perfectly, but I do like to use it as the base or my layering piece to a lot of my layouts. So the piece that I cut up, this little leftover, is perfect. It fits the dies just perfectly. And so here I'm using my pokey tool to make sure that they're all evenly spaced. And yes, pokey tool comes from my YouTuber, awesome girl Nancy, and so that's what we will call it. And so I don't show you all of them because I think it's tedious to watch me cut out all the circles through the Cuttlebug. And it's always that 6 of one, a dozen of another. Like, how much of a process video does everybody want to watch? And funny, I do see a lot of comments on other people's video where I think somebody had said who took a class on making videos shorter or faster. I think this person felt that she loved watching what we do, and sadly, I think sometimes we are our worst critic. We feel guilty, or we feel that, our videos are too long, or we don't have enough time. And, I completely understand and respect that. But sometimes there are things like cutting out circles that do take a long time. And never mind the next stage where I have to glue everything down. That takes a bunch of time as well. But I don't do all of it on camera, so I spare you all. So here I really love the way that it looks. I used some Studio Calico South of Market and Wanderlust patterned paper on a from a 6x6 paper pad to back those circles up with, one of them has like a book reading part to it, and I thought that was so, poignant for what the layout is. And then the hearts are so cute. I purposely cut out the alphabet font in green that you see there, tracing out or going around the letter A for Alexander, because that's his name. And then the yellow one on the bottom left corner with the 5 and 6. I purposely cut out the 5 because he's 5 months old. So, you can always have fun and place your dies accordingly to the pattern paper that you have, just to make your layout a little bit more meaningful. So every little detail counts. I mean, maybe not to the viewers that you're doing it for, but to yourself, you know what those things are there for. And so here I'm using that leftover Studio Calico paper to create some layers behind my photo, and I'm just trying to place down some glue on my page so I can mark the spot to where I have lifted up the circles, because I do find it a little bit hard for me to remember where I place everything. So I'm really trying to get into that habit, and that's my tip for you today, is to just start gluing things down. I've said that before, but I really truly mean it. Your process becomes that much faster, and you don't second guess yourself as much, and then it's a little bit less work. So basically there's not much to this layout. It's a lot of circles going down and a little bit of layering to the back of this picture here, or the photograph. And again, as you can see, I'm just pulling up the scraps from the inner circles that I had cut, but I will use my book punch, or the book edge punch, on the writing paper there. That's the book paper that I said was so awesome. And of course, I mean, hello. I don't need any other excuse other than, you know, more book paper to make book paper edge, you know, layers with. So I'm happy. So I think I'm just going to get some foam and mount that again, because I do love a little bit of lift on my pages. I'm not afraid of, you know, having thick layouts. You know, if my binder or my book, my album only holds 5 pages, and so be it. I'm a happy crafter in that sense. And so I'm just using my Tombow Mono multi-liquid glue to glue down everything as best as I can, and I really like it. Some of the circles I do use my hot glue gun to give it some extra lift and some more dimension. But most of it is glued down just with liquid. I'm adding a little bit of foam to the back of this one because it's going to be on sort of an edge of an angle there, and it does need to be lifted more on one side than the other. And so I really like this kit. It's simple. It does have muted colors too. There is some softness to it, but the bright colors are so welcoming for, especially, you know, children's pages. And I really liked it. So I'm using hot glue and bending this layer in the middle just to lift up the edges. And that number 5 is a wood veneer that came in the kit, and I think I kind of sort of snapped the neck of it a little bit, but it's not noticeable in the end when I glue it down here. So it's just very fragile. The thickers that I'm using here are not part of this kit, but they go so well with that red outline. I don't need to use any extra glue when I do use thickers on the bottom of my photographs. They do stick down quite well. They don't when it's just normal patterned paper or cardstock. And so just a little bit of rearranging, and I'm kind of feeling through to see what's left, and that's just a regular paper clip, some foam squares to lift up the corners evenly, and yeah, I love it. I think it's so cute, and yeah, I'm hoping my sister likes it too. I believe I'm almost ready to flip this page over and get started on my second layout. So this is part 2. If you need to pause and get a snack or a drink of water, do so. But usually my videos are this long, so for it to be this long and I get 2 layouts done, woohoo, that's pretty good. On this side, I do have to use leftover of that patterned paper to cover up the branding strip at the bottom, because this side does have the manufacturer's information to it. And here I'm going to punch some more book edge, and on this side I go book edge happy crazy. I just punch a whole bunch of book edges. But this is, you know, what I've learned from watching Rory, Kate Rohr, and I am so grateful for things that I learn and things that I like, and she always has these neat edges where she just adds little pops of color, and her layouts always look so neat and tidy. So thank you, Rory, if you're watching. I always appreciate your videos so much, and I do learn from it. So you know, this is where I get my ideas from too, and this is why I always tell you as the viewers, or, you know, to be inspired and do what you see. Don't be afraid to copy and mimic and try out something that someone else is doing, especially if you think, hey, wow, you know, what she's doing is amazing. It looks beautiful. Try it out. It'll bring life to your own layouts, and you'll be so happy. So that poor little die cut, you know, Oh, the Places We'll Go by Dr. Seuss, I keep trying to revive it and keep thinking that it's going to make it onto this layout, but it doesn't. And here I'm just grabbing some vellum and some scrap white pieces of paper that I have left over. I always keep my odds and ends or full pieces like that at the beginning of my white paper holder. And so, yeah, I warned you. I am going crazy with this punch, but you know what? It's a photograph of a kid eating books. I think it makes sense. If I had a punch that had, I thought about using my scalloped edge punch to take a bite out of the side of the paper, but I didn't go that far. So that heart piece of paper is the leftover piece of paper from Studio Calico, and I really love the way that they look. The hearts are just so cute, and it's the perfect shade of red. And I'm thinking I wanted to amplify that top photo because it's the whole point of, this layout. Made me laugh so hard when I saw that photograph of my godson eating the top of that book. He posed so nicely for about 3 or 4 photos with the book open, pretending like he's reading it, 5 months old. What a cute thing. And of course, priceless book we've all read or have with our own children. And I just love that photo. I laugh my head off every single time. And so again, I'm using the same thickers on this side, and I'm using the title Read. Oh no, I want to eat this book. And yeah, it's funny to me. I really think it's just so cute. And it's so wonderful to, have my sister so close to me that I feel, I'm living vicariously through her kids, or she only has one right now, but through her son. And it's just so exciting. It's fun to see his milestones in a different perspective. Like I told you before, I'm not that tired mom, kind of, struggling to just, brush my hair. And I totally respect her. She's an awesome mom, and I know she's going through probably, one of the toughest phases right now with him, and he's teething and just all those things, and he's moving, rolling over, doing all kinds of stuff, and slowly getting into that mobile stage. So, I love it. I get to be, the fun godmother, and now I get to scrapbook these, hilarious photos. I don't show you that these thickers, I do have to glue them down individually with my Tombow Mono liquid glue. I do that off camera. And yeah, more wrestling with my stapler. I'm going to have to get the tiny attacher. Yes, I'm going to spoil myself. I keep saying that, right? I'm going to never get one. So I'm close to the end here. There isn't very much else that I do. I believe I get a Heidi Swapp stamp that says documented on the bottom right corner. And I use the Heidi Swapp navy blue ink that matches again perfectly to this kit. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. Everyone, thank you. A big hug. Stay tuned next week for a wonderful surprise video. It's already set and ready to go. And yeah, get your photos ready. Be inspired and join me. One photo and let's have a blast. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful Saturday.